Blackout magic!
The Sith reaches the edge of the placid pool. He unslings his bag from his shoulder and unpacks it, while Osha observes from a hiding spot in the rocks. As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look. He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back. Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles. He wades barefoot into the pool. Keeping her predatory gaze on him, she lies in wait behind some rocks closer to the water's edge.
People against goodness and normalcy. P-A-G-A-N. Pagan.
Nice work.
Woke. I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
It looks like Chuck's taking the skin boat to Tuna Town.
You look goofy.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
The American Society of Magical Negroes.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah, well...
What the heck is that?
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
That was good.
That's better. No, that's not better either. There we go. How's that? Son of a bitch. Turn up the audio, Gary. I can't remember what I just said, but it was brilliant. Is that better? That's better. It's Monday night. I was early, but the audio was off, so that kind of makes me late, doesn't it? I was just going to say mark your calendars because that will never happen again. No, the muting thing will happen again. Okay, you know what? You're about to get banned. You're about to get banned with that kind of heresy. Bitter Steel better than Blood Raven. Who survived? Who died? Who lived? Blood Raven. Who pretty much single-handedly took care of all, not all, but most of the Blackfire rebellions? Blood Raven. Who's got 1,000 eyes in one? Blood Raven. Who was a big simp for a Blackwood? Blood Raven. Who is half Blackwood? Blood Raven. I will not stand for anybody talking about Westeros's favorite stalker. Okay. The ultimate stalker. Blood Raven. That's your one warning, pal. That is your one warning. Yeah, don't bring that our hilts hurt bullshit here, okay? I love those guys. But they do call me a Blood Raven simp because I am. Because he's a badass. He did what needed to be done. He's been moving all the chess pieces. He's been stuck in a tree. Doesn't have an eye. He looks like Elric. He's like the 5th version of Elric that's in A Song of Ice and Fire. Blood Raven. Brackens suck. Brackens are pieces of shit. All right. We're all about House Blackwood here. For one, best sigil. They have a dead weirwood tree that each night all the crows rest on, so it looks like they have it has crows for leaves. Everything about them is cool, and they're honorable. You know, if it just wasn't for the Brackens. Now, we're not going to say that that story is like an allegory for something that's happening in the Middle East. We're not going to say that. We're not going to say that. I don't know which side is which, to be honest with you, but there we go. There we go. House Blackwood for the win. Our hilts hurt can suck it. We should actually get them on the House of the Dragon thing. One of these. We'll get them on for the finale. Unless they're doing one themselves, right? But yeah, that's coming up. 21st. Fringy, Shad, Ryan Kinnell, Mahler, yours truly, maybe somebody else, maybe Nerd Cookies. We need a chick. Or maybe we don't. Might need to rethink that a little bit. I like Nerd Cookies, though. She's cool. She's cool. Welcome to Monday Night Nooner. David Lightbringer. I don't think I like David Lightbringer. David Beers. I love his lore stuff a lot. I don't think he would be caught dead on one of my streams. I just don't think he would. But he's welcome. I think I love his lore videos. I think they're some of the best. Absolutely some of the best. Everybody tries to ground A Song of Ice and Fire. He goes in the weeds, and I love it. And he did a good Blood Raven video about 3 months ago. But yeah, I don't think he'd be caught dead on one of my streams. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's see who's here. Randall Kildare, Master Austin, Case 21st, Ariantu, Rocco Suave, John Thomas, DPG Beller, Nick the Quick, Iso del Dorado. Iso del Dorado. Long last name. Me. Long last. What's up with that A there? Long last Namai. Namai. Punate. I sound like Nell. Punate to Punate. Punate. That's the fucking funniest movie of all time. The best unintentional comedy of the year is Nell. Fuck. If you guys have not seen Nell, when that came out, when I was working at the video store, Jay, if you're out there, you know, me, Jay, and Doug were clowning that movie for like 3 years straight. And customers would be looking at us like, because we would go, Poonate, Jay, Poonate. Oh my God. I got to find that video now. Hang on. Where is it? I think it's Shit Nell Says. This is good shit. Hang on. Just a moment. Let's make sure the audio is up. And if, Jodie Foster was nominated for an Oscar for this role, but you never go full retard. You never go full retard.
Oh, yeah. My tata love came as
Chickapay.
Like Mau listen now, Mau say, if I done got ants to come.
Ain't it come? Hollywood is a silly place. In the wind. Oh.
What the fuck is
exactly.
They are beautiful. Oh my love, is tears. Crazy. I'm crazy.
Would. Yeah, you would. She didn't play for your team though.
Lord. Don't keep me,
Chickapay.
For time I walk with Lord. They don't come long. But also Tata, I like. In the kind of Lord, he lit my sky as on the car. Okay.
So imagine 3 idiots in a video store talking like this for 3 years. And just, it was funny. We were laughing our asses off. Why are we watching Nell? Because it's retarded. And I think it's a great example of like Hollywood trying to like, well, we're trying to show other voices and that retarded people are people too. And they just end up like leaning into the stereotype, and it's fucking hilarious. Remember when Sean Penn played a retard who was smarter than he is in real life? I remember. I guess with Sean Penn, you got to ask, do retards snort coke? And the answer would be probably yes. I Am Sam. That's right. I Am Sam. And I think that's the one they referred to in Tropic Thunder. Oh, do I mean milk? Ah, that's good, chat. Oh, who said that? Who fucking said that? You win. You win. Harvey Milk. They deified Harvey fucking Milk just because he got shot. Well, Harvey Milk was a good buddy of Jim Jones. Who was Jim Jones? He was a preacher, except he wasn't a preacher. He was a massive communist who also hung out with Jimmy Carter's wife a lot, and Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter's wife is also in a picture with John Wayne Gacy. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds that one first lady gets a picture with 2 of the worst serial killers of all time. What are the odds? That's damn near impossible. Unless you think about, like, listen, I don't say this is from a Christian perspective. They hang out with a lot of demonic forces. I mean, unless you're a commie. I mean, I guess, yeah, if you're it's kind of like Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer wasn't a commie. He just exclusively hung out with them and had sex with them all the time, but he wasn't a commie. Because dudes never adopt their girlfriend's politics to get laid. That never happens. And don't drink the Kool-Aid. No. No, every time somebody tries to, like, oh, Jimmy Carter was such a sweet guy, it's either me or Razorfist responding to that tweet with fucking pictures of his wife with John Wayne Gacy. But yeah, Harvey Milk was very close to him, and then he was killed. Now, I don't want him dead or anything, but I don't want him deified. Didn't they name a fucking ship after him? I mean, it is the Navy. Like the USS Harvey Milk. There's a lot of commies in government. You've got to read The Day After Roswell, okay? Yes, it's about aliens. Yes, it's about Philip Corso and what supposedly he did the day after Roswell, which was taking the tech and having it reverse engineered. But the other part of the book that's got nothing to do with aliens in like the B plot is amazing, which is the fight between, it was right when the CIA and the NSA was coming up, and the military handled the intelligence before that, so it went into the civilian hands, and it was the battle, and that battle was essentially military versus the communist CIA that he calls out in the entire book. It was happening back then, the socialist communist CIA and NSA, and how it infiltrated our government then. And Hollywood and the media have done a good job besmirching the McCarthy hearings and stuff. And like, I don't care how he was as a human, but it turns out that there was a lot of commies in our government in Hollywood. Now, Hollywood loves to cry that they all got blacklisted. They blacklist more people now than they ever did back then for being right-wing, centrist, or even a classic liberal who won't go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So they blacklist a lot more people than they do now. And they have no problem with it. So I guess that leads us into California. California's fucked. I knew this in 2020 when I watched what was going on. I watched a shift of power. This is after I witnessed through my time in California all the redistricting to make sure that a Republican would never win again. And I don't think the Republicans are a saving grace of anything, but I do believe you need balance in government. You don't want a supermajority running a state for too long because, well, we see the result. I'm a big fan of balance. And we recognize that. We recognized what was going to happen and that our tax dollars would constantly be, well, I don't know, raped. Our funds would be raped and taken away from us. When a socialist came to my door, an open socialist knocked on my door to ask for my vote for city council, it's like, we got to go. We got to leave. I hate to bail on a fight. I do. But man, you got to fight to win. And sometimes Balin Greyjoy had it right. You bend the knee to fight another day. It sucks. You got to swallow your pride, but it's better than being dead or, in a position where you have no power. Put yourself in a position to win. That might be missionary. That might be something else. But yeah, particularly in the Bay Area, it was like we're like, we're out. We're out. And now look at it. So Spencer Pratt in the LA election, he was cheated out of it. The late night ballot dumps, which I predicted on the Nooner, came in 100% for Top Ramen and Bass. And that's what mail-in ballots are meant to do. The Republicans don't have the power to stop it. The DOJ should be investigating it. They're not. And I'll tell you why they're not. Once a precedent is set, the other side can do it. The other side can do it. So I am no Tim Pool. I am no black pillar. We have a lot of work to do, and it's on us. We can't expect any politician to fix this, but it's on us. More of us need to go and vote if we care about this. And we have to vote in our local elections, and it has to be specifically, almost exclusively on this issue, that we get fair elections. Because if we don't have fair elections that the people believe in, we're no longer a country. We're cooked. That's it. We're done. Once people lose trust in the system, it's over. And that's part of the game. They want you to feel defeated. They want you to give up so they can just go and take over. So black pilling's not an option. It is a long, tough fight that will take generations to win. But we need to get elections that people will trust, or we're fucked. We're completely fucked. And just to state the obvious, if you have to cheat to win, you're the bad guy. No greater good bullshit. You're the bad guy. And now that the precedent is set, right now the left is doing it, right? Let's make that clear. But the right will be doing it soon. They're going to have to win. So the right is going to have to do the same fucking thing. And this is where they, the big people in charge, win, because we lose trust in the system. A lot of people give up and black pill, and then they steamroll. That's how it goes. Problem, reaction, solution. I don't know how we fix this. I'm a big dummy, but it is discouraging yet not surprising. And maybe a bunch of people need to go fortify a single state. California is pretty much lost at this point. Even though there's a lot of Republicans there, you ain't never going to win unless you split the state. California needs to be split. And it's probably for the good of the country at this point. Again, it'll never happen. And too many people, I think, still had faith in the system in LA. And get the fuck out. You need to get out. The good news is Hollywood is fucked. Hollywood is fucked. LA is fucked. Your really expensive home in Los Angeles is going to be a really expensive homeless encampment. If you leave your house and squatters go into your house, good luck getting them out. If squatters are in your rented building and they stop paying rent, good luck getting them out. California is not going to side with you. You can welcome more rent control. You can welcome, and by the way, all these things make housing more expensive. They're going to stop building nicer houses. They're going to have low-income houses, so you'll have a bunch of basically council houses. For those of you in the UK, you can look forward to a lot of those. And California is beautiful. It has beautiful weather. Your prison has the best weather, but it will be your prison. They're going to tax people leaving. You're not going to be able to own a gun. You cannot protect yourself there. Crime is going to run rampant. And woke white women will continue to vote, who are the most dangerous voting class in the history of civilization. And California is filled with them. I saw somebody say, well, just because a Republican lost, it doesn't mean he cheated. For one, Spencer Pratt was not a Republican. He was an independent. He was not a Republican. So Spencer Pratt, who was not a Republican, he was so dangerous, they needed to rig the election and cheat, and they're going to completely get away with it. They're going to get away with it. I don't know what the fuck Trump is doing. I think they're cheating over there. All right, get some fucking DOJ people over there right now. But do I trust the DOJ? No, I don't trust any of this shit. And that's people losing faith in the system, right? How do we fix it? I don't know. Like I said, we got to look at the glass as half full, and Hollywood just gave themselves the final grievous bodily wound. And it doesn't matter, Ramen or Bass, it doesn't matter. They're the same person. They're the same picture. I don't know if Spencer Pratt would have answered anything, but he would have been something different. And the fact that they don't ever try something different, yet everybody complains about the government there. Everybody complains about Newsom. Everybody complains about Bass. You don't see too many Bass fans, yet they still win. Well, that's third world country banana republic shit. If other countries were doing that, we remember our election monitors we'd send down to South America. If we do that, that's a fucking joke at this point. That's a fucking joke. And it could happen where you live too. I just think there's a better chance to fight here. It's not spectacular. There's some things I don't like here, but that's going to be any state we go to. Yeah. Fucking hell. But hey, you beat the Chuds. You cheated. You won. You beat the Chuds. You beat the independent Spencer Pratt. And I look forward to Skid Row taking over a few more blocks within the next month. You get what you fucking deserve. Good luck. Good luck, California. And that's for the rest of y'all, too. San Diego, it's going to be LA South. It's going to be shit. So, Hollywood, I don't want to hear you fucking crying when you have runaway production and AI is taking over your industry and everything's getting farmed out. I don't care. I don't fucking care. You did it to yourselves. All right, let's get to fun stuff now. And like to my fellow Californians who are holding out, God bless you. But like, if you have to stay for family or you're not financially set to move, I get it. I totally get it. But if you have the wherewithal to get out, get out. Get out. There's better places. There's better places. You can go to a strip mall in any state, and that's what most of California is. Oh, the beaches. How often do you really go to the beach? Oh, Yosemite. That's a fucking 1-year wait to get into Yosemite. I've been to Yosemite a lot of times. It's a big wait to get in there, and you can still drive to Yosemite from other states. Oh, the Marin Headlands. You have to drive through fucking San Francisco to get there. Is it even worth it at that point? You know, there's lots of places in this country where you don't have to pay to park in front of your own house. You won't get a ticket for parking in front of your own house. You won't get a ticket for your car kind of blocking the sidewalk by an inch. That's like $100 ticket. You won't have to plan your trips to the grocery store like you're planning the invasion of Normandy because of the parking prices. You don't have to go 7 miles. It's 45 minutes in San Francisco. That was our commute to go 7 fucking miles. You don't have to pay $10 to $20 to go over every fucking bridge. You're not paying the highest property tax in the world along with the state income. There's just a better way to live. Oh, but I won't have that. What? Every state has what California has. And don't give me the beach. Up north is great, but see, that's the first, Jefferson should have happened. Jefferson, America, that state should have happened. Thanks, World War II. Thanks, World War II. But California actually needs to be split into 3 states. Northern, Central, and Southern California. And I'm for like making like Sacramento down to LA one state. San Diego could be a state. Anything, maybe Orange County South, and then give Northern California to the true Northern Californians, and that would be that part would vote a lot different. It's sparsely populated, but that would be very red. Ain't gonna happen. Oh, this is gonna be rough, man. That was discouraging to see, unsurprising. I hope it's a wake-up call for a lot of people. Look forward to Chris Gore moving to Texas, though. I'm gonna have a new neighbor. Very excited about that. All right. Masters of the Universe, a movie that a lot of people liked. I am like right in the middle on it. I did chuckle and I did enjoy parts. I did genuinely enjoy. I didn't mind the Earth stuff, but I'm not a huge super fan. If I was a super fan of He-Man, I'd probably hate it, but I'm not. So I had a pretty good time. It was fine. 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Some people think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and Tom doesn't like it. And Tom is free not to like it. I actually understand why Tom doesn't like it. But it is not doing very well, and I'll tell you why. At least my opinion. I'm not gonna sit here and go, well, my opinion is the be all end all, because it's not. I'm fucking retarded. I was on Flashcast with Tom. He handled it. All Tom needs to do is take a deep breath, especially with like Masters of the Universe, because nobody knows Masters of the Universe like Tom. Tom is an expert on Masters of the Universe. So all he has to do is take a deep breath, hit your bullet points on why I didn't like it, what breaks with the lore and stuff like, because those are good points, man. I don't think anybody's gonna change his mind, and I don't think anybody's gonna be able to hold up to the lore. But if you like it too, that's great. That's great. We've always said that, I'll speak for myself. I don't care what movie you like. If you like it, don't let me ruin your good time. But just have the same respect for others who don't like the movie. That's all. I know it doesn't work like that. I know. So we have Variety's box office Scary Movie, which wasn't. I liked Masters of the Universe more than I like Scary Movie. I'll tell you that right now. Scary Movie did very well. Franchise best 55 million opening. Masters of the Universe 29.3. I'm pretty sure that's just domestic. The best part is Backrooms and Obsession were, I think, 3 and 4, and then some other movie I'd never heard of, and then Star Wars. So I think 3 YouTuber movies beat Star Wars, which is amazing. That's my next video. And Obsession is in 4th place, and it was only 4 million behind Masters of the Universe, a movie that cost upwards of $250 million to make. Backrooms did very well. That's good. Star Wars is fucking dead. God, give me a list. I don't know if I don't care. He-Man was probably just domestic, right? So the reason He-Man failed, Tom will say it's the movie. I will say different. For one, it definitely, if you looked at the trailers, if you're thinking general audience, it looked like Marvel slop. It did. Did the race swaps affect it? Maybe with the hardcore fans. I would imagine they did. I'm against them on principle anyway. The problem is He-Man is a Gen X / partial millennial property, and those things are done. They've had their time. It'd be like throwing out a G.I. Joe movie. Now, Cole Hauser would be, say they made a good one. I'd be happy. Az would be happy. Jeremy would be happy. Cole Hauser would, we might have to do a medical check on him, because if they made a good G.I. Joe movie, Cole Hauser might actually die of ecstasy. But and we don't want that to happen. But these are Gen X properties. So as far as mass appeal and Gen Z and now Gen Alpha, they don't give a fuck. And it is clear. Like, I'm looking to the right here. Scooby-Doo. Who gives a fuck about Scooby-Doo? That is a Gen X property, period. And you're going back. So you want modern audiences. You're using Gen X properties and you're trying to implement modernity in them, and it's square peg in a round hole. So that's one of your problems. But these things are, I mean, they've had their time. And honestly, I wish they would go. I want to see new stuff. But we're also in a year, like, this is the transition part. It's great that we're seeing Obsession and Backrooms doing well, but it's a year where we got Scary Movie 6, Scream 7, Toy Story 5, technically Spider-Man 4 or 9, however you want to look at it, Avengers 5, and then 6. So we're not even in sequels. We're in the 5s and 6s of movies. Another remake of an animated feature, Moana. This is peak creative bankruptcy. So as I said before, there was the year of the flopbuster, there's the year of the wokebuster, and we are now in the era of the slopbuster, where even the good movies are, I mean, the Minecraft movie looked like slop to me. I know a lot of people liked it. I didn't see Super Mario Galaxy. I'm not gonna. A good argument could be made that He-Man was slop. I know Fringy definitely believes that, because I talked to him about it. And where's the innovation? Oh, we got Chris Nolan making an Odyssey movie. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw my video today, but I think it's pretty much a guaranteed that he's adapting the Emily Wilson translation, and just Nolan's going full woke Hollywood, and it's disappointing. It's really disappointing. Oh, the Spurs are in the finals. My team from San Antonio. I don't give a shit. Is that the team with the tall black people playing? I do not like the NBA. I haven't watched the NBA since Michael Jordan left. And I like it less now. Hell, the Warriors were winning championships and the Giants were winning championships when I was in San Francisco. And I just sat there and watched. I'm like that meme. You know, I don't care about any of those teams. No, I'm not a basketball fan. Not a basketball fan. I am a baseball fan. That's pretty much the last sport I'm hanging on to. And wrestling. I dip in on wrestling once in a while. No, if I was ever going to go back to the NBA, the BLM shit made sure I will never go back. And then I was in the Bay Area with what's his fuck, who's the coach of the Warriors, and Steph Curry, and yeah, it was just annoying. But I do want to point out, as soon as I moved to San Francisco, Giants started winning World Series and the Warriors got good again. So maybe I'm the good luck charm for the Spurs. I'll take the credit. I'll take the credit. Steve Kerr? Yeah, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr. Jordan played baseball too. Wasn't very good at it. That's so crazy that he had to sit a couple years out for gambling, and then decades later, all sports are embracing gambling. Remember, they wouldn't put a team in Vegas for fear of the gambling, and now all the teams are going to Vegas. Larry Bird was awesome. Magic was awesome. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was awesome. It was a great 80s and 90s were a great era. Just watching Michael Jordan play was awesome. Pete Rose was wronged. You're right. He belongs in the hall, and everybody needs to shut the fuck up. And on top of that, Shoeless Joe Jackson belongs in the hall. Fuck all that, especially now. Justice for Shoeless Joe. Scottie Pippen's a pussy. Sorry. He skipped a fucking finals game or for a headache. Get out of here. Jordan would have fucking beat him within an inch of his life if he was on that team. But yeah, back to Masters of the Universe. So this is fatigue. Just Hollywood fatigue, not superhero fatigue. It's just fatigue. Like you had a movie that has pretty decent word of mouth, right? That's failing miserably, that nobody has any interest in. And this is going to start happening a lot with superhero movies. Take a look at Supergirl. Supergirl looks like it's going to do Marvel's numbers. It looks like it's going to do Marvel's numbers because it looks like the Marvels. And then the DCU is done. It's done. And superheroes, I said it on Friday. I think Secret Wars, that's it for the superhero film. There'll still be a Spider-Man movie and a Batman movie, and maybe they'll take a shot on something, and Marvel will try to spit stuff out, but the days of them reaching $500 million worldwide are kind of over. Diminishing returns. And it's not like we didn't try to warn them. So Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings. I could go on and on. Gen X stuff. It's gone. And it didn't need to be. This stuff could have lasted forever. But they wanted the activists wanted to hitch their wagon to these things. And now they got Nolan. Ugh. And I know they're just supporting characters, but that's where it starts. House of the Dragon. Oh, let me show you a clip from Matt Smith, because like this, if you want to get something positive, this is positive. This is Matt Smith. This is why he's fucking cool. This is why we like him. Very simple answer to a question that most adult pretenders fail completely on. So this is why he's my second favorite doctor now.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the fans. You know, that's why we're here. That's why we go and work in Neeson for 8 months a year.
Let's get context for this. He was asked if, you know, is this about the fans? Is this for the fans?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the fans. You know, that's why we're here. That's why we go and work in Neeson for 8 months a year. It's, you know, it's never going to appeal to everyone. Everyone has their own opinion, particularly on George's work. But for me personally, it's their show. You know, we make it, we do all that work, and then we hand it over. And I hope it delivers on the scale that that we want it to for them. If it does, if it doesn't, who knows? Only time will tell. But absolutely, it's completely about the fans. It's their show. Oh,
how fucking hard is that, Hollywood? What he just said is what everybody should say, especially in a property, in a giant, tent pole. It's all you need to say. It's like, yep, it's for the fans. We did our best. We hope you like it. And you want to know what that is? Hollywood and fucking leftists out there. That's confidence. That's confidence. This is a man comfortable in his own skin, not worried about what people think, and genuinely thinks that, you know what? I am an actor. I'm making this thing, and the people who ultimately pay me are the fans. And so few of you creatives in Hollywood, in publishing, in the comic book industry, in music, do not realize that and never will. The creator thinks the fans are there for them. Nope. Hate to break this to you, creator. There's 1,000 people waiting to replace you, and you will be replaced. So have a little gratitude and show respect to the people who actually pay you. And my God, will they love you, and they'll let you get away with a lot. You know what? Even if you're in a stinker, they'll go, that was a stinker, but we love Matt Smith. It's really that fucking simple. And these fucking retards can never figure it out. And thank God, or I wouldn't have a channel, to be honest with you. Hail Matt Smith for getting it right. Bless you, man. That guy came back for a Doctor Who special, I'd be the first one watching it. As long as it wasn't written by Russell T. Davies. But just in case you needed to like Matt Smith a little more, who's already cool. Fucking cool. Well done, sir. Thank you. That was nice to see. Let's see what else we're going to... so the square up is going to be like 3 parts. We have a lot of squaring up to do. Yeah, hail Matt Smith. Well done, sir. So we have Super Based has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you, Super Based. I appreciate that. Hugh Laurie just bitch slapped somebody going after House, calling it formulaic. You can go find it. Hugh Laurie, I'm going to say it right now. He's the best Dumbledore. You heard me. He is the best Dumbledore. I finished the full cast audio dramas. I cannot recommend them enough if you're a Harry Potter fan, or even if you aren't. As a matter of fact, if this is like your first foray into Harry Potter, I would recommend reading the books. But if you don't want to read the books, these full cast audio dramas are everything the TV show won't be. Theater of the mind, and the cast is brilliant, and Hugh Laurie plays Dumbledore, and he's fucking amazing. So he is the best Dumbledore now. No disrespect to Richard Harris or Michael Gambon, but it's Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie. And House is one of the greatest shows ever made. Hey, Gary, glad your Japan trip was awesome. Did you see the guys from Rush, Lifeson, Lee, and their producer all did interviews with Rick Beato? Beato? I haven't. I will. I subscribe to Rick. I always say Beto, but I guess it's Beato. I think he has a brilliant channel. His insight is second to none when it comes to the culture of music. And it really, you can apply his logic to so many other things. And I've watched like 3 hours straight of his videos at times. Great channel. Absolutely great channel. So I will watch that. Thank you. And Tanker 215 is a new member. Hail. That girl drummer for Rush is brilliant. Like, I want to go see him in concert now. She's really good. I mean, they're just essentially a greatest hits band. They're going out and doing their greatest hits because, I mean, Rush was Neil. He wrote all the lyrics. And no disrespect to the greatest rock drummer who ever lived. May he rest in peace. Oh, so not. It was very sad when he died. But she does a good job. She fucking shreds. Hugh Laurie is not Benedict Cumberbatch. No, he's not. He's Hugh Laurie. But if you didn't get a chance to see Rush, I mean, it's not going to be the same. I saw Rush with Neil 9 times, maybe 10. They're so fucking good live. They are so good live. Robert Pattinson's and I did an Odyssey video today. So we don't need to do Odyssey stuff. Oh, Dean Cain on Benny Johnson talking about Millie Alcock going after fans. I took a shot at right-wing commentators in my video today. It's not like a shot that I haven't taken on a live stream. It was mostly in jest. It's mostly just a little poke, little joke. There's a lot of truth with it too. I think I said something to the effect of when the Odyssey comes out, it's going to be a culture war shit show, and right-wing commentators will take time out from their bad political takes to give us bad pop culture takes. But I also wanted to be even, so I took a shot at left-wing Twitch streamers too, which I am happy to do when they're not fighting with each other and stealing everybody's content and giving us bad political takes. But here's Dean. Here's our boy Dean Kane, who's been on Friday Night Tights. Dean's a good man. All right, he's just a good dude, good father. I would say a good. I'd say he's a good example of someone from Hollywood who carries himself very well, very classy guy, despite him coming on Friday Night Tights. And he's talking to our boy Benny. Let's hear what they have to say.
Crap. Dean, it wouldn't be an interview on this program without a Superman question. And so here is the cultural Superman question of the moment, which is Supergirl. And we have Millie Alcock saying that she doesn't want Christian dads to go see Supergirl and attacking them for attacking her online. I don't think anybody actually cares at all. But it is like totally irrelevant. Nonetheless, she's popping off and blaming the audience and attacking Christians. Supergirl is set to flop. We'll see the numbers upon its release. It'll be released, I think, in a week. But not great branding, right? For Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Well, DC Comics let that lapse. So Truth, Justice, and the American Way is no longer a thing. They said Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow. So I use Truth, Justice, and the American Way at every opportunity I can. It's interesting because I didn't know her name. And after hearing what you just had to say, I really have no desire to know her name because as a Christian dad, sorry, I don't understand that at all. It blows my mind up. But this reminds me of Snow White, Rachel, whatever her name is. Why do you want to
Ziegler
kill your franchise by being a jerk and saying some awful stuff and alienating a huge portion of your potential audience? When you do a movie like this and you go out on the press runs, you usually have whole, media training and discussing what you're going to talk about. I can't believe that's something that they came up with. If it is, they're absolute boneheads. I looked at the trailer of the thing and it just looked like whatever that dude. What's the Gen now? Are they Gen X? What? No, we're X. I'm X.
Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha and Gen Z.
Gen Alpha. If that's Gen Alpha, you all are in trouble because that's just seems like a petulant kid who's angry at. I don't even know. I had no interest in watching it. Melissa Benoist, when she played it with her smile and her aura about her, that seemed great. I wanted to watch her, and I was on that show. But this doesn't seem like anything that is exciting for me. And I think it will probably tank monumentally because she's alienating audiences and saying stuff that I don't understand that. Why would you attack? I don't get why she'd be doing that or attacking Christian fathers. It doesn't make sense to me.
I can tell you why.
Work in the long run.
Wouldn't you want, again, you're a dad, I'm a dad. Isn't that the target audience? Is parents go with their children? Isn't that how you increase ticket sales? Isn't that the goal? The family goes to the movies. That's why children's movies make so much. It's why Zootopia makes $1 billion.
So just to get things straight, Millie Alcock didn't necessarily go after Christian dads. It was an account called Christian Dad. But, however, as Ryan would say, she later said, if those are the kind, I'm paraphrasing, if those are the kind of people you're pissing off, then that's good. So culturally in Hollywood, being a Christian is essentially being a Nazi, right? That's how they see it. It is low-hanging fruit. That's why they've always felt free to criticize and make you the bad guy, because in every story you need a bad guy and they can't make anybody else a bad guy, so it's real easy to make Christians bad guys, and they really don't like you. I'm not breaking any news here, but they really don't like you. Now, Dean's right. Benny's right. The person you want going to a Supergirl movie is a Christian dad. Having sold Supergirl comics, I can tell you I sold them exclusively to men. Women did not buy Supergirl comics. End of. And if they, I'm sure some did in other shops, and I'm going to tell you that the percentage is maybe 2%. 2%. So you want dudes going to this movie. Men are not, women are not interested in Supergirl. They're not. They're not.
Dollars, right? Parents are bringing their children. So to attack parents, particularly Christian dad, the only people having children are Christian dads primarily. It's like, it seems insane, Dean. Suicidal, actually, for the industry. It seems suicidal.
Yeah, let's go to Gad's dad, and it's suicidal empathy.
Yep.
It's you're so woke that you're going to alienate everybody, and your film's going to tank. But Hollywood's it's a numbers game. If they're not making money, then you're gonna be adios. You're gonna be Stephen Colbert. You're losing $40 million.
Ellison is their new boss.
It doesn't last, because at the end of the day, Hollywood is a business. So, if James Gunn and Peter Safran, who've been running the new DCU group with the last Superman movie and the Supergirl here, if they want to run that into the ground,
they're doing it,
guys. But it's unfortunate.
They're doing it, brother.
They run Star Wars into the ground. We'll see what else they can ruin.
They're doing it. I think I did share a clip with Mahler. Where is it? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, no, not that one. This one. From Everything DCU. So I'm sure it's very objective. Let's hear what they have to say.
We are building the DC universe, not the DC planet. We love the idea that in 2025, it was the summer of Superman, and the movie delivered commercially, critically, audience, fans, everybody embraced it.
They're trying to manifest a word that people like to use now, manifest success. It made a bag of crisps. That's how much it made. It didn't make very much money. It wasn't the summer of Superman. But keep fooling yourself, and then we'll see where these two guys are in a couple of years.
And the fact that a year later they get Supergirl, and then the year after that in 2027 to have Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, we follow that up with Supergirl, even in a DCU that had everything going for it. You wouldn't follow something up with Supergirl. Supergirl is a guest star in another movie. She shows up in Superman 3. Superman 3. Not your second movie. And I am one of those dudes who bought Supergirl comics and Superwoman comics. But she's not a prominent hero. She is a derivative hero.
It's just great that we've kind of built this cadence of films around the super family that we're incredibly excited about, that all feel very different, but are special and unique in their own ways.
Yeah, they really are all different. I mean, even Superman and Man of Tomorrow. So we get to see different facets of storytelling with each of these things, different facets.
He sounds a little lower energy, doesn't he? Doesn't he? A little bit.
We get to see different facets of storytelling with each of these things, different facets of the DC universe, the DCU. And it's been an honor for us to be a part of it. And
that is a lower energy James Gunn right there.
Help to keep these characters that we've loved since our own childhoods alive.
You haven't loved Supergirl or Superman, James Gunn. Don't give me that shit.
The different media they're able to be in today.
Yeah, he sounds kind of like I'm just going through the motions till I go back to Marvel. Listen, I will agree with our boy. Where is he? Woke. I'll agree with John Campea. that James Gunn goes back to Marvel. I think he goes back to Marvel. And hey, if Supergirl is the greatest movie ever made, I'll tell you. That's fine. I'd be like, okay, good. I was wrong. Outstanding. Everything looks like this is going to be a catastrophic failure. I think the biggest tell was them coming out and saying, oh, it only cost, what was the budget they gave? 120 million, 100 million. It's the same bullshit they did with Superman. So what they're doing is they are kind of setting the expectations and lowering them. I think that was the biggest tell. Oh yeah, Disclosure Day is coming out this Friday, everybody. I'll be reviewing that for sure. I haven't heard good things though. Listen, Close Encounters is the greatest UFO movie ever made. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Has one of the best openings. It's Spielberg just when he was in his prime. This is elitist, part of the machine, part of the system, Spielberg. And we lost him years and years ago. Years and years ago. Oh man, when somebody brought up Superman 3 in the chat. When did that come out? I was like 16 when that came out. And I saw Richard Pryor and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Now, I didn't say that back then. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? There's little parts of that movie that I like, and I would watch it 100 more times than I'd watch Superman's James Gunn. Superman James Gunn. So before we get to the soups, went to Japan. If you get a chance to go to Japan, go. Expensive to get there, but once you get there, your dollar goes a long way. It's clean, it's safe. The people are really respectful. The people are great. The sights are amazing. You couldn't see them all in one trip. The countryside is absolute heaven. I'm obviously not a big fan of cities anymore, but Osaka, Japan was something to behold on just how orderly and nice. And it shows that it's possible to have a society where kids can walk to school alone and they don't have to worry about anything. There wasn't a siren. I didn't smell piss. I didn't smell shit. There wasn't homeless guy fucking shitting on himself. There wasn't any trash. There's no trash cans. There's no trash cans and there's no trash. It shows that it's possible. And now I understand, like, all the content creators who go over there and like, I'm going to live here. But I think Japan should be for the Japanese. I mean, I love my dirty America and I'm never going to leave it. I was very happy to get home, but we traveled with 80 people. 80 people. Here's the group shot. Unbelievable that many people showed up. What a great group. And you can see Sophie in there. And there's Ken, our guide, who was awesome. And Garrett and Michael Collins. And there's Craig. And there's just the whole crew. A bunch of these people. There's Jimmy. Went to Egypt with us. Went to Peru with us. And it was the best time. Sorry, there wasn't a lot of content for me, but I wanted to focus on the people there and just experience it. But there will be stuff coming out. X-Ray Girl's working on some stuff. And then you could just watch Ryan's vlogs. Ryan's vlogs were fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But it was a great time. We're doing the UK next. If you're interested. But I did some good shopping. So I want to show you some cool shit. This might be the coolest thing I own now. It's not the most expensive. And you could get these online. They vary. It's a book. What book is it? Well, we'll see if any of you guys recognize these letters. So it's a prop replica of the Grail Diary. And it's written in, it's got all the leaflets cover to cover. Somewhere in here is Adolf Hitler's signature. This thing is fucking badass. Look, I got a little camel thing that goes in there. Where's Adolf Hitler's signature? I know I randomly ran across it. Look, there's fake money in there. This thing is badass. So I got two because I wanted to get this. Hang on, let me get this little sucker on there. Yeah. Grail Diary, and then I have one wrapped in the package. Then there's these. These are metal. Now, Capaldi's is a little big, and yeah, it does look like a big penis on the end. But I think that was Stephen Moffat overcompensating for what was to come. And we have, and again, these are all metal. And then, of course, fuck yeah, I'm a nerd. But I got some other stuff. I bought other stuff too, but I can't show it all. I got a Sanji frame, cell, animation cell from One Piece, which is awesome. But let's get to the people, shall we? You've waited long enough. And again, we're going to have to do like 3 parts. There's so many. There is so many. Where did it go? There we go. We're going to start with the oldest first, if I can do that. How long has it been? I got to check my calendar. Oh, my Lord. You guys were generous. All right, we're going to start at the beginning. So some of this stuff might be dated, but I'll try to make it updated. Matthew Hammond. Oh, by the way, Matthew Hammond, so sorry about your Stargate, right? I didn't know the full context because my first thought was like, oh, good. You don't want fucking Amazon making your Stargate show. That's terrible. But once I found out that original creators were involved, they were really going to make it for the fans. The story gets more disappointing. And it's unbelievable that they canceled it because they were going to make something for the fans. And it just shows they have a fundamental misunderstanding of every intellectual property they're going after. And you know who I'd love to hear from on this? He was interviewed on Film Threat recently. Go back and watch his interview. Roy Price. Roy Price is the founder of Prime Video. Roy Price was Me Too'd over a dick joke at a party, and it ruined his career at the height of Me Too. And it was a power play, and it was a bunch of people who conspired. I don't know if it's in a book or if he's ever going to openly talk about it. I know a lot of stuff that wasn't from him, but from people who were at the party. Like it was some big movie stars involved. The daughter of a big time author who has now passed away really conspired to get rid of him for a power play. But Roy Price is the one, and if he's out there listening, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty sure he obtained the rights to Conan that Jennifer Salke shit canned, originally obtained the rights from the Tolkien estate for Lord of the Rings. It was going to be a completely different show. Please watch my video, Lord of the Rings, Making of a Disaster. The Boys, Invincible, The Tick. Yep. And they got rid of. I'd love to hear his thoughts on the Stargate thing because I'm sure they would be savage. Savage. So Matthew Hammond for $5. There is a North American series that hits all the points you talked about. What was missing from modern media in the West? What is it called? Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Raymond Ham for $19.99. I fear that any comic-based movie or TV show that is faithful to the original IP would fail much like Watchmen did, but I could be wrong. The TV show? Raymond, thank you for the $19.99. You're always welcome here. Your opinions are welcome. But the Watchmen TV show is the wokest worst thing I've seen in the last 10 years. There will be a review before Lanterns comes out. I will make my peace on that one. A long overdue review. I should have done it when it came out, but I think considering it was written by the same person who's writing Lanterns, I just want to show you what you're in for. Just want to show you what you're in for. From DSP Historical Society, sure, for $10 says F. Jer Hambly. Thank you for the $10. Jackson Cagle for $25 sent five Nerdrotic gift memberships. Thank you, Jackson. Jesus Davila has gifted one. Thank you. WG, hail WG. What's up, brother? For $20 says, just got back from Guy Ritchie's In the Gray. It was pretty good, in my opinion. Oh, I'll watch it on streaming. Hey, Gary, another great podcast to listen to is Mr. Ballin, says Mike Zero Source. Okay. William Gray for 5 Canadian pesos. A pathetic ending for Homelander would have been fine, but you can make that work. The problem was that everyone knows it wasn't about Homelander anymore. No. They should have followed the plot of the comic book, which makes it, God, I don't want to say tragic, but it's a little tragic. But the plot of the comic book is Butcher was the bad guy. And so was Black Noir. And Homelander wasn't great. But it just turned into a Trump meme. That's it. Ryan Long for $19.99. My conspiracy theory on Andor is that they cut it down to 2 seasons because too many of the wrong people liked it. So like Rogue One, it ended up underdeveloped, hence Juan Solo. Well, there was a time, Ryan, you can make that argument, and maybe even I would have said, you're insane. But you're not. Because we have Joker 2. Joker 2 is the best example of the wrong people like something, so they made something as a reaction to the audience instead of just letting a story speak for itself. And I can't tell you how fucking disappointed I was in Todd Phillips, who I backed, who I think is a really good director. He's against political correctness, but he bent the knee. He bent the knee because he thought the wrong people liked it. Judah for $5. Students dismantle the leftist teacher in front of an entire school. Warren Smith, I think we are healing. Couldn't say it as one word. I'm not sure. Have any of you seen Obsession? Watched it this evening, and it was fantastic. I have not seen it yet. I'm going to see it this week. Everybody loves it. And I can't wait to see it. And I'm really happy for its success. I read Waiting for Nerdrotic 3 weeks ago on a flight. Hail, Roger's dad. You got it all done in a flight. Awesome. Thank you. What are the Tootsie Fruits for? Well, I'll leave that to your imagination. They fired Tom Hardy from the Tom Hardy Show. Those self-deceiving sea suckers never do learn. Well, they unfired him. AI Swearingen. They unfired Tom Hardy, and I believe it was after the fan reaction when everybody, including yours truly, said, well, then I'm out. The whole show runs through him. You can't really recast it. Tom Hardy is an artiste. He is known for being a little difficult to work with, and you just find ways to work with him. All right? Unless he's beating the shit out of people on set. And listen, sitting in your trailer for hours and making everybody wait, that's fucked up. It's complete. That's 5 ways of fucked up. But I always feel like there is a way to get through to people, and you can, I don't know, maybe you have them sit down with Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan, and they can set them straight. I'm pretty sure either of them can set them straight. Spooky Maze for $9.99. I think if season 2 is successful, I think they work something out. Gary will talk crap about Gen Z, even though his generation is responsible for the destruction and decay of American economy, society, and high trust society. Spooky Maze, I don't expect you to listen to every one of my live streams, but I think some people can back me up here. I have never been one to deify my generation, and I have certainly said many times in the past that my generation is responsible for a lot of the shit that's going on. 100%. Okay. Absolutely. Now, we can blame boomers the most. Boomers are the most responsible. There's good boomers in the chat, not counting you. But as far as Gen X is concerned, I couldn't be more disappointed in half of my generation who didn't want to be labeled, wanted to be independent, was do it yourself, and they all became a bunch of fucking socialists, and then raised a bunch of petulant kids who they allowed to transition. So no, I'm not going to deify Gen X as some godlike generation. We're not. We're not. And listen, in defense of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who have their problems, but they've been shoveled a lot of shit from boomers and Gen X for a lot of years. How do you expect them to react? Jacob Russell for $5. 6'7" is the special kid in class saying 6'9" wrong and everyone making fun of him. I don't make fun of, I don't make fun of special ed kids. I make fun of special ed adults, mostly who work in Hollywood. Darius for $2 says, there is a lady underwear theft problem in Japan. I didn't see any of the vending machines. Does anybody here who went on the Japan trip? Did you see any of the underwear vending machines? I missed them. Because I would have bought some. I mean, for, research purposes. For research purposes. Maybe Ryan found some. Where was I? Alex has donated $9.99, walks away because that's what he does. Thank you, Alex. John Slade for $5. I work with a lot of teenagers, and none of the boys are into the new woke stuff. They all love anime because it is good stories and gasp appeals to men. Yeah. And holy shit. It's one thing to hear about it, and it's another thing to see it. To see like how much Japan likes anime. It is everywhere. There's anime titties on billboards. As would never leave. Disparu is still a sex symbol. Prove me wrong. Says DSP Historical Society shirt for $20. You know what? There's ladies out there who like Disparu. Because sometimes women are into lesbians. But I know for a fact that there's ladies into Disparu. So are all those people calling him an incel and stuff? Nope. Hate to burst your bubble on that one. How y'all feeling about Brandon Sanderson getting his works adapted and him being in charge of the whole thing? I hope it's good. It kind of feels like he's gone a little, to the message, but Shad would know more than I. But I mean, in theory, I am for a creator being in control of his own stuff or her own stuff. Brandon Pizzino for 20 says, hail, Star Wars is dead. Remember Dad taking me in 77 when I was 5. No idea what I was watching at the time. Total spectacle. Now they shit out Mango and DeLorean and Gronk. What the fuck? Yeah, when I was 7 and I watched it, I didn't entirely know what was going on. But I know I like the Wookiee. Like Chewbacca was fucking. I'm like, what is that? It's a walking dog. It's so fucking cool. And he makes cool noises. John Vick for $5. Nolan made too many movies about white men, and this is what and this is what his Oppenheimer Oscars are costing him. He wants to keep getting big budgets. He can get whatever he wants. I think he is genuinely reinforcing things he believes. That's where I'm at on this. His wife is a major activist, by the way. So I think he has just been quiet about this stuff, and he sees the danger his industry is in, and I think he feels like he needs to back some of his people. And it's not that subtle. It's unexpected. He would have been much better. I didn't need to know Nolan's politics. I assumed I don't think Nolan is got a MAGA hat hidden in his closet. I never thought that, but I like it when directors and actors are mysteries and we don't know. But it certainly is disappointing. But there's people out there who don't like Nolan who go, I've been waiting for this. Fucking told you so. And like, I'm getting a lot of that. Maybe I'm just a sweet summer child. Dearest for $2. She yo girl of Troy. That's right. Nebulaeus for $10 says, I don't know if it's on your tour, but the Hiroshima Museum Memorial is 100% worth the train ride from Kyoto, Osaka. While you're there, only takes 6 hours round trip from including the time of the park. I think Garrett went to Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I can't remember which one he went to, and said it was amazing. I wouldn't get too excited about it. It wouldn't be the first time He-Man trailer pulled a bait and switch. Remember Kevin Smith's revelation? Yes, we do. We thought it was about He-Man and Skeletor only to die in the first episode, says Notram. Yeah, Clownfish and Tom know more about, like, I didn't even cover the He-Man stuff when it came out because I knew nothing about it. And it was algorithm gold back in the day. But if I don't know something, I either got to take the time to research, but I felt like it was in much better hands with them. He-Man was not my thing. I do not feel passionate about He-Man ever. So Tom Hardy has been sacked for Mobland. Thoughts? Sacked and then unsacked, Lily. So we'll see what happens. Gizmo D for $5. Curious about your thoughts on Invincible. Haven't heard y'all talk about it. Also, have a great time in Japan. Thank you. I dipped out. Maybe I'll go back and watch the rest, but I started seeing things that were changes from the comics that I didn't like. And I own the comics. I own the full run. It's not my favorite in the world. It doesn't suck. I think it's got some good concepts, but the comic runs on too long, has a little wonky ending, kind of rallies at the end. It just felt like it's probably me. It's not you. With Omni-Man, I am just bad Superman out. I'm fucking done. I can't watch another bad Superman story. I can't. I'm so tired of them. I read, I was about to say 100. That's not true. I read about a dozen in the mid 2010s when that was still kind of cool. And I'm tired of it. It's like, oh, here's the next version of a bad Superman. Irredeemable. Does anybody remember the Irredeemable comic by Mark Waid? So Irredeemable is if you take The Watchmen and The Boys and then dial up the bad Superman to 11. Think Superman is so bad that the Joker turns good to stop him. Yes, I'm tired. But by all accounts, a lot of people like the Invincible. The animation sucks. It does. It's not very good. Mike walks into Lucasfilm flanked by security holding pink slips, looks around briefly, calmly says, "Execute Order 66," says MS Cowboy. That would be funny if everybody's pink slip said Order 66 on it. I would laugh. Rest in peace, Rowdy. Oh, yeah. Snarky. Kyle Busch dies at 41 of an infection, essentially, that went septic. And that's why you need to go to the doctor. My brother-in-law died of something very similar, and it was not going to the doctor. It's really fucking sad. The Ron, more Ronick for 5 British pounds. Fuck all today's nonsense. Let's do something good. And if you do a full review of John Carpenter's The Thing, you, me, and the chat know it makes sense. Hail. Someday, that's my favorite horror movie of all time. Had a chance. I don't know why I didn't get it. Damn it. Had a chance to get a 1/6 scale, and it has the table and the head. It had all the bits and bobs, but I couldn't fit it in the bag. And again, like Hot Toys, and I was looking exclusively for Western stuff there that you can't get in America, and it's half as much. Even the regular Hot Toys that you can get in America, if they're $250 here, they're $150 there. And you can get the tax off if you have your passport. I grew up on He-Man. Please, please, please don't fuck it up. I wonder what you think of it. Who's it? You might like it. Angry Badger loved it. I think Ep and Mike loved it. Az loved it. Shad loved it. A lot of people liked it. A Drinker liked it a lot. Notrum for 300 RSDs. You're right, Gary. Oh, I'll just leave it there. I don't hear that enough. I'm married. Anyway, Hollywood isn't in a position to piss off anyone, which is why Christopher Nolan should have known better. That's the whole point of my video, is we can't remove Christopher Nolan from culpability now. He knows more than anybody. He knows exactly what's going on. He knew exactly what this casting would do. And I think I know there is an element in Hollywood, mostly women, who believe that, well, we're going to cast a Black Helen of Troy because it's not what you want. It's what you need, bigot. And we're going to show you. We're going to show you through a movie that you're racist, and we're going to make the world a better place by casting a Black Helen of Troy, or a Black Snape, or a Black Cleopatra. Make Captain America black, because the only legitimacy is in white characters. So we have to hand them to black. We have to take them away and hand them to black people for reparations. That's their attitude. And they don't really think it through. And Eric July brings this up all the time. So you're saying that the only legitimate characters are white characters, and it's not even worth the time to create new black characters or adapt African mythology. I brought it up in my video, the Anansi, which is used a lot. Neil Gaiman's used it. They just used it in Doctor Who horribly. And I think he should be played by Chris Pratt. With that logic, if it doesn't matter, it's just a mythological tale, according to Lupita Nyong'o. But if it doesn't matter, then why are you changing it? Because it does matter. Because it does matter. But if it matters, this part didn't make the cut because it was going too long. But if it doesn't matter, again, why are you doing it? But the funny thing is, when we call it out, it's racism. When people of color call it out, it's called colorism. Yes, that's a thing. So when Aaron Pierre was rumored to play Black Panther, Black Twitter had a fucking meltdown because he was light-skinned. And then you go down the rabbit hole of all the racism there is towards light-skinned men and women. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, for one, I'm with the brothers on this one. Black Panther needs to be chocolate. Okay? He does. That's accurate. I'm for that. But I noticed I watched a couple of videos, which what was left of my brain was dripping out of my fucking ear after I was done. They were breaking down how colorism isn't racism, and it's totally different because it's called colorism. Light-skinned brothers, light-skinned sisters. And then, like, the black women are pissed because the black men don't really care about the difference between dark-skinned and light-skinned women. They don't think it's a big deal. But when it gets to the dudes, they think it's a big deal. So there's a whole thing going on there. And it's moments like that you go, maybe we were meant to advance. I don't know. But for some reason, colorism, totally different from racism, even though you are literally judging people by the color of their skin or how dark their pigment is or whatever. I'm sure that makes sense to somebody. Probably the illiterate, but that would, or the media literate. I went to an 8:30 a.m. showing of Mando and the Green Piece of Shit today, and it was 3 of us in there. Shake my head. Well, it's not doing so good now. Let's take a look at by the numbers box office. Let's take a lookie. Ooh, that's bad. Oh my lordy lordy. That's so great. Oh, let's take a look at this because it makes me happy. It makes me happy because you in the chat, you Star Wars fans, you've been busting your ass being a Star Wars fan for a decade, for 30 years. You didn't deserve the bullshit you got from Kathleen Kennedy, from fucking Pablo Hidalgo, Pedro Pascal, and all the fucks who work in Lucasfilm, including that that skinny little bitch who works with Star Wars Explained. Why am I being so harsh on another creator when I usually don't get into drama? Because that little bitch tried to take my channel down. Because she's a bitch. And it looks like her man doesn't satisfy her very much. And that's her problem. Try 49 years, Gary. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you guys don't recall, Rewriting Ripley, who was working with members of Lucasfilm and later on came back out of nowhere and was working with other Star Wars channel to get me, Ryan, Geeks and Gamers, and others deplatformed. Now, they failed miserably, and I know they did try. I know there was an effort because my partner manager said, oh, yeah, your channel was hit with a lot of stuff, but we knew it was bullshit, essentially. It's good to have a good relationship with your partner manager, just saying. So, yeah. They did manage to get my, through flagging, they got my Acolyte is canceled video demonetized. I don't care. I don't care about that. But they did try and failed. And all because they don't like my Star Wars opinions. And before this, I had never brought them up. They're never part of the conversation. They're free to have the opinions they want. But they seem to really be concerned with my channel. And yeah, when they come to take it down, then they get my attention. Well, I hope they all enjoy the Star Wars they're going to get for the next 10 years Good luck making lore videos on Dave Filoni shit. Enjoy obscurity. Enjoy apathy. Enjoy the void. So let's take a look at this list. Let's see. This is weekend domestic box office, June 5th, 2026. Number one, Scary Movie, $54 million. That's pretty good for a shitty movie. Masters of the Universe, $29.4 million. Really bad. It's going to flop. Backrooms, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't see what they did for the week, but it's at $135 million on a budget of $10 million. And then we have Obsession, which is even more amazing, which is at $151 million on a budget of what, $750K? Then we have The Amazing Digital Circus Last Act. I can't even tell you what that is, but apparently that's another YouTuber. So that's 3 YouTubers above Star Wars, The Mango, and Grok, which is at $155,785,000 with a 59% drop, 17 days of release. Let's take a look and see if we can get to, come on. I want to see what the per theater average is. So we're at 293 million worldwide. I don't think it hits 400 million. I think we are 2 weeks away from it hitting VOD. All right, so it hits VOD. Let's be nice. July 1st or in the beginning of July. It hits VOD in the beginning of July. Oh. So what's the per theater average? June 7th, it was making $946 per theater. Fuck them. There it is, 946. Oh, shit. On the 5th, it was 763. Oh, my God. On the 4th, it was $388 a theater. Maybe it'll be on VOD next week. That's bad. That is bad. Oh, so sad. Rest in peace, Rowdy Kyle Busch from Snarky for $2. And when Az rises from the grave and returns to FNT, he should wear a red wig and do crappy impressions. I think it's kind of been done, but Az's impressions are pretty good. So maybe next time he's on, we'll have him do that. AD the Demon Slayer for $5. I went to an 8:30 a.m. showing of, there's an 8:30 a.m. showing? Oh, I read that one already. It didn't register. 8:30 a.m. Who's showing movies at 8:30 a.m.? What? Sip of water for the working man. I'm still a little under the weather. I'm going to burp. You didn't have to hear that. Okay, I'm back. Don't people have jobs? I have one that requires me to stay up till 4:30 in the morning sometimes. That's how late I was up last night. It's not healthy. I don't recommend that. But had to get stuff done. Garrett, as always, fucking magician, gets that shit done. Perry did a great job while we were gone, so thanks, Perry. Shout out. All right, back to this. To be fair to Homelander, he did pretty well considering he's been fighting the script for years. The real villain of the show by the end. Anthony Starr wasn't even acting anymore. He just looked genuinely annoyed, says AI Schwerngen. Anthony Starr is a great actor and really held that together. And he was the show. Like Carl Urban, like just fell to the wayside, to the background. It became the Homelander show, which we kind of thought it would. And that's too bad because there was a supporting cast there that could have been interested, but it's just everybody's scared of Homelander. And that just gets tired. And that show lived off its reputation of the memes and stuff for way too long. It'll probably chart, but it'll be completely forgotten. It won't be rewatched. It won't be remembered for anything other than, oh, it was just very of its time. And that means you put a timestamp on it and it won't be timeless, which is too bad. So if you want to see a good Anthony Starr show, go watch Banshee. Banshee's amazing. The Shield had the perfect ending. Vic being chained to the desk with no family, friends, or action. The Shield's ending was great. It occurred to me that Nolan could just be nerding out over finally being able to use IMAX cameras for the entire film, and good for him. A goal that he's waited for his whole career, and he didn't give a fuck about the cost of woke garbage cast. Well, I mean, you get your one crack at filming an entire film in IMAX, and then you drop the ball. That's fumble. You're in overtime. You just got a kickoff before they changed the kickoff rules. You just ran 99 fucking yards and you fumbled the fucking ball at the 1 yard line. Other team returns it and you lose. R for 1999. It occurred to me that I read that one. Mahler, my man. I know others have recommended Maul show Shadow Lord to you. Don't bother. At best, it's the most mess series Disney has produced until Mandalorian Grogu. Carried only by nostalgia bait and surface level characters, save yourself the bother. I don't think he'll watch it. He's got Buffy to watch. By the way, Anthony Stewart Head. That one got me. Love that guy. Great actor, great dude. Top 2 or 3 characters in Buffy, definitely best character in the first couple seasons. A father figure, a good, positive father figure. And yeah, he passed away at 72 from pneumonia. Very sad. That's 3 Buffy actors we've lost in the last calendar year. Giles, hail Giles. And I saw a lot of love being shown. It's still being shown on X, sharing clips. It's awesome. So Mahler and I will be back to doing our Buffy streams on Wednesday, and we will discuss that probably in depth. Michigan Man for 1999. Hail FNT. It's my birthday, and Disney has given me the worst birthday gift ever, The Mandalorian and Grogu. You all have a marvelous night wherever you are, and happy Memorial Day. And that's how old that was. So happy birthday, Michigan Man, and happy Memorial Day. Belated. Carvo the Crow for 1999. Sick of comparing The Boys and Stranger Things to Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones had 40 back-to-back episodes of phenomenal television. You are right. Before it started getting bad, the other 2 were at least 85% garbage, not even comparable. I completely agree with you. Completely agree. No, Game of Thrones was worse because it was better. It was a great show. And even in the later seasons, we got good, like Hard Home is in season 5. That's my favorite episode. That's everything the end should have been with the White Walkers. I turned Solo off when Woody's name was Tobias Beckett. That's not Star Wars. That's what you would name a 19th century abolitionist from Earth. This is John Vick for $5. Thorlox attacks for $5. We don't skip super chats here. Where is Chrissy? Is she still in the gas station bathroom? Mayor of Orc City, John A. Douglas for $4.99. What's up, my brother? I'm just glad the boys is over. I'm so tired of deconstructing heroes, evil Superman tropes, right there with you, and sophomore level humor and vulgarity. If you're gonna there's a way to do dick and fart jokes smart, and it just became like constantly talking about playing with buttholes, which tells you a lot about Eric Kripke, to be honest with you. Judah for $10. Metatron said it best. If I said, repeat after me, say left and right, they would say left and far right. It's so true. You could give them a full script, dialogue, and the story, and they'll still burn it. Yep. Hey, I just wanted to catch up to Metatron, right? Because Metatron is going to the Odyssey like Quartering went to a Brie Larson video, right? And I made my second, and he's made 100, and they're all great. I watched them all, by the way. Hail Metatron. He will be, whether he likes it or not, he will be on the episode where we review the Odyssey. He will be there. High Grand Priest of, oh, hang on. I got to move this. High Grand Priest of, I can't see the rest. It says Ho for 20 British pounds. And the Peace of the Dawn, which transcended all memerage, will guard your dangus and your rhino milk in Tonald Loke's name. Amen. Praise be the dawn. Praise the dawn. And we got a dawn scene in Supergirl. She broke an alien's hand and then murdered a bunch of people because she's messy. Have a great weekend, everyone. Google Director, you have a great weekend. Chat, how was your weekend? I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you all for everyone. Be blessed. Right back at you, steel leg of history. Everyone wants to know what the oranges are for, but I want to know what they're against. Goodness and normalcy. Just, I'm going to come out and say it. They're against goodness and normalcy. Unless it's orange juice. The base story of KOTOR, is easily as good as the OT. Cast a male Revan with a hot Bastilla, whatever. Change the Karth character to be quippy and upbeat wingman, and you have a trilogy that could resurrect Star Wars. But it sounds like, okay, Orange Soda, thank you for the $10. Did you not just say you're changing a character from a story that was already as good as the OT? See, that's your problem. It's like, we just do this, but then we change. No, if it's good, it's good. Now, I haven't played Knights of the Old Republic. Is it as good as the OT? Is the story as good as the OT? The thing is, even if it was, not enough of the general audience and normies know about it. So it would be an alien property to them. Now, word of mouth could help it with a lot of Star Wars fans going, no, this is the shit. Trust me. Notrum for 1,000 RSDs. We might actually be getting a good piece of Star Wars media in the upcoming years, but it won't be coming from Disney. Saber Interactive, the developers of Space Marines 2, are working on a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. All right. Release the Freaky Mickey files. No. And that's not to protect Mickey. It's to protect humanity. I have seen things. You have not seen what I have seen. Zukai for $1.99. Star Wars was a remake of Hidden Fortress. Slightly. I mean, it certainly is a nod to Hidden Fortress. And if you haven't seen Hidden Fortress, watch it. Darth Nihilus from the Old Republic would make an amazing villain. Just have a Force user wear his mask and have it corrupt him. Says Radale Drago for 5 British pounds. Thank you. I'm paying my lurker tax. Please, Miki, release my pets from the basement. He's not going to do it. Phil McCracken. And you know what, Phil McCracken? He's got your pets. They're not in his basement. He's just taking care of them. He's protecting them from you. Hail, Mickey. Sam Witwer might be the only one I trust as a shepherd of the franchise. Brightest Day for $5. Hail, Brightest Day. Excuse Epic Mickey for being late. He's black. I did. He is still on the honeymoon phase with the hot dude. He had to clean up before being on cam. I'm glad he did. Natrum for 300 RSDs. Revan would be a wet dream for them. They'd use the excuse that Revan is fully customizable character and KOTOR to push someone like Hunter Schafer. Ugh. Today's reading comes from EFAP 467. Do not be slow-nalled about a thing, but in every video by objectivity and length, with Tonald's blessing, present thy reviews to the dawn. Amen. Rise 41, the performance for $10. Would one of you awesome panelists, that's a good way to start it, butter our muffin a little bit, be interested in being a guest on our podcast, Geeked and Jacked? Which one of us is jacked? We're three bodybuilder nerds discussing nerdy topics of the day. Join us, nerdy on steroids. Like literally. Well, who's the most jacked of us? Chat. I mean, I'm using the term very loosely. Who's the most jacked on Friday? I mean, not in the head. Probably is Ryan jacked? Ryan is in shape. I wouldn't necessarily call him jacked. Jacked in the head. Well, yeah, X-ray girl. X-ray girl. Jacked Ryan. As his right arm. Yes. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Oh, you guys are funny. I think they can make an even worse movie if Filoni and Feige combined universes and hire the writers from Starfleet Academy and Acolyte to make one movie to destroy it all. Thunderstorm for $199. I can absolutely promise you, based on what I've heard. Oh God, I've already talked too much. I've gotten so much trouble earlier this year. I can promise you, Kevin Feige would never hire Alex Kurtzman or anybody from Starfleet Academy. So, as you may or may not know, however you feel about Feige, he is a massive Star Trek fan. He even went to Disney and tried to convince them to buy Star Trek, and they said it wasn't worth it. That's how big of a Star Trek fan he is. I think you can tell how big of a Star Trek fan, considering who he poached to make Vision Quest. I mean, that's public knowledge. I can promise you, Kevin Feige wouldn't hire anybody from Lucasfilm or Kurtzman, based on what I know. Now, he's got his own problems. He certainly does. But I think we can... Oh, I almost stepped in it right there. Marvel right now is as bad as Star Trek and Star Wars. But at least they're trying to fix things. They don't know how. They're in too deep. They're in too deep. But I'll just leave it there. Based on what I've heard, Kevin Feige clowned Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, by the way. Absolutely clowned it. As everybody should. Now they have to play all nice and, oh, they did the best they could. And behind the scenes, they are talking mad shit about each other. Okay. As they should. I think they should be public about it. I think Kevin Feige should do a press conference on how shitty Starfleet Academy was. It would help his efforts. It would help his credit. The critics of Kevin Feige go, well, all right. Ralph Siebert for $10 just walks away, drops a 10, walks away. Thank you. Eric K for $5. How about them making a young Palpatine movie, The Misunderstood Youth, who was driven to the dark side by social injustice and inequality? You just wrote a script for them. Thanks for giving him that idea, Eric. Gamer Gramps for $2. Nope, the gay Ken dolls will tank Toy Story 5. Is there gay Ken dolls in it? Well, you know what? I'm not going to see Toy Story 5. Why would I see Toy Story 5? Do I have young children? No, my children are adults. That's it. I have no reason to go see Toy Story 5. It's an animated kids movie. Now, I would go to one to clown it. You know, when I saw Snow White or The Little Mermaid, it was specifically to mock it, to have a laugh, to take the piss out of Hollywood. And I still felt self-conscious being there. The Boys Season 5 in 1 minute by Animation Vault absolutely needs some love. And yes, it's only about a minute long. Okay, I'll look for it. Why not? Boys in 1 minute. I love the Animation Vault. That guy's cool as cool beans, man. Here we go. Let's do this. You ready? Of course you're ready. I'm not ready yet. That's the whole point. Let's go.
Hey, Butcher, it's season 5. What are we going to do now?
Time to kill Homelander, eh? Let's go, boys.
I'm not smart anymore. Love is too unpredictable.
Mon ami, you are never smart. You can only be as smart as the writers.
Hey, I talk now. It's great. I got nothing.
Things are getting stale, man. What are we supposed to do now?
Remember when I used to talk about the Spice Girls?
Yeah?
Let's do that some more.
And I used to talk about Billy Joel.
You may be right, kid. You may be right.
Yeah.
Crazy
Right, honey.
I have 2 heads, kind of like Gollum, except both heads have the same personality.
I'm going to talk to Fish again, and they have funny voices.
What up, Holmes? Why, it's already been 5 minutes since we compared Homelander to Trump.
Did I ever mention how I like ballrooms?
You f***ing bing bar light bulb licking face.
Girls get it done, am I right? Let's go.
There we go. And it was better than The Boys. Animation Vault's done like our comic store thing. It's pretty funny. Gay Ken dolls in Toy Story 5. Is that true? I mean, you could make a pretty good joke about that. No. There are no gay Ken dolls in Toy Story 5. They're bisexual. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see. It's not like AI hasn't lied before. I mean, they just have lisps and like to hang out with boys exclusively. I mean, they can't have anal sex. So they're like gay eunuchs. I don't know. I still think Simu Liu was the most accurately cast actor in any adaptation ever. playing a plastic dude with no dick. Jackie Chan and Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill had great food scenes in their movies. It's an anime trope as well. It's possible to make it good. What eating? Yes, food scenes is fine, but the problem is we were discussing it, I think, in comic books, and you could tell a woman has written a comic book because there's somebody eating food, because women are obsessed with food. And the thing is, food and comic books don't mix, because if you're eating food while reading your comic book, you're getting greasy fucking fingers. Like, it's just it. You know what? I don't need to see my superheroes eating or taking a shit or having gay sex. I don't. Meat Slave for $6.99. The Odyssey will likely be a hit. I agree. But how much do you think Nolan's reputation will depreciate? How can he survive this if the others couldn't? Well, every director has their time where they're hot, and then they fall out of grace and then they come back. It's happened to absolutely every director. Every director has a dud. Now, some of the articles I read is like, Nolan's never had a bad film. Yes, he has. He's had at least 2. And that would be Tenet, which was not good, but still made $365 million when most of the theaters were closed and everybody thought they were going to die of a cold. So that's impressive. And then there's The Dark Knight Rises, which is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And the excuse, which I'll accept, is that he had plans with Heath Ledger. He had to go back to the drawing board. But like, I don't want to go over it again. The magic knee brace, Bruce, like giving up for a fucking woman, his mission that he started because his parents were murdered. Not even a wife, a girlfriend. It's like, that, no fucking way in a million years. No way. Even if it was written by Tom King, I don't believe this. It was memeable as hell. That shit was funny as hell. But it's a bad movie. Worst death scene in a film, too. It's bad. I don't care how many times Jeremy saw it. He saw a shitty movie 11 times to break his own personal record. It's all right. I like movies he hates. I like Batman and Superman, Dawn of Justice, the ultimate director's cut. I like it. You know what? It's better than Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I fucking said it. It's more entertaining. I don't know if it's better. I wouldn't say it's better. I'd say I'm more entertained by it. I think that would be a more accurate description. The Odyssey, but I think the Odyssey will make money. Yes, I do. I think it will have a huge first weekend. I think Nolan's reputation alone will carry it. Will it hurt his reputation? It depends. I think it's far more likely that it's a hit that sucks. And it will be divided, and some Nolan fans will defend it like it's their mom. And that's just the nature of fandom, and that's fine. Just like some Snyder fans will defend, that horrific scene in Man of Steel with Jonathan Kent and try to convince me it makes sense, because it doesn't. And it's okay. That's what fans do. But I think more people will realize that Nolan isn't the greatest director who ever lived. I think he's kind of a one-trick pony. He deals with essentially the same concept, which is time and the unreliable narrator. I think can be a bit sterile. His movies lack levity. I think he's technically very good, very serious, but could you see Nolan directing a comedy? Like, most versatile directors can direct, even if not an outright comedy, something that's funny. Like Spielberg's attempt at a full comedy was, I like the movie, but it's bad. 1941. But Spielberg movies are filled with levity and funny moments. Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark is hilarious. There's a lot of laughs in that. Andrew Fay for $4.99. The tragedy of modern Disney is it's not about managing talent anymore. It's about managing decline. Facts. Star Wars, the macaroni and guacamole. I've never thought of mixing those, but I might because I love guacamole and I love macaroni. 2002 Clone Wars show is still good to this day. Yes, the Tartakovsky one, it's great. And it's buried. Like there's no 4K version or anything because of fucking George Lucas. Random Panda for $9.99. Thank you. Just drops it and thanks you. Congratulations on your film, Mahler. It was brilliant. AZN for $2. How is everyone getting up to this weekend? Don't travel the trail of smears, friends. Says Bear in the Woods. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Whitey has dropped $9.99. Doesn't say anything. Walks away. Looking forward to Mahler, Mandela and Gandhi review. I don't know if he's doing a review or not. I forgot to ask him. I know he was going to take time to talk about it on EFAP, but Alex Belfort for $5. Also, Arnold made the plane fly in Commando by hitting the control panel. Yes. Hero of the game, 3 parts for $40. Says, hail all. And hail to you, Gary. This is my first FNT I've caught live since joining the U.S. Air Force. Oh, hail. Oh, dude, you're like in the smart branch. And I wanted to show my appreciation by giving you back some of your tax dollars. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Question for those going to Japan. What parts are you visiting? Osaka, Tokyo. And then the Nara Valley and other places I can't pronounce. And if you aren't already, you should check out Kiyu Mizudera Temple at Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto. I think some people went there. Worth every second. Question for the panel. If FNT were to be adapted into a movie or a video game, what would be the plot? Who would be the villain? And who would make the heroic sacrifice at the end? Hail again and cancel Disney Plus. What would be the plot of an FNT movie? Ooh, give me a moment. It would be us looking for something. We'd need to chase a MacGuffin. We would have to chase a MacGuffin. I mean, if we could just borrow from South Park, we have to steal the Pander Stone from Hollywood. The person who would make the heroic sacrifice completely against his will would be Ryan. The villain. Who would be the villain? It would be like a Hydra with the heads of Alex Kurtzman, Russell T. Davies, Kathleen Kennedy, who's and Rianne Johnson. Oh, no. Jar Jar Abrams. Le Cimmerian for $9.99. Can you all address the Amanda Milius demands that the new Conan film use her father's King Conan script? I want the movie to draw heavily on Milius's Conan. I would be for that. Now, his Conan doesn't really draw on Robert E. Howard's very much, but considering modern Hollywood, I would take that. Chase Ryan's $4.99. Assuming Yodas live 900 years on average, at 50 to 55 years old, Grogu is almost equivalent of a human 6-year-old. Definitely an idiot. Yeah, he's retarded. Jordan Braybrook for 10 British pounds. Saw the Mandalorian and Snoru earlier today. Just the same as Filoni's Clone Wars movie. 4 bland episodes slapped together with no depth or risk. Maybe the 4 other people in my cinema screening enjoyed it. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Special needs Grogu, for sure. Jacob Wolf for $1.99. 78-year-old Sigourney Weaver pilot is stupid as fuck. Yes, it is. Mizzy Moore for $4.99 British pounds. Funny Superman from Man of Steel went more scorched earth than Homelander. He did, but that's, you know what? In Man of Steel, that was not one of my criticisms on the movie. A movie I've always liked, but I've liked it more as time goes on. I am not a Snyder fan, okay? I think his latest Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon sucked ass. But I liked Man of Steel, and you could see like Christopher Nolan's fingerprints all over that. Him getting in a fight that's destroying the city in his first real battle, that's happened a lot in the comic books. It's happened in the animated series. It's happened in Justice League Unlimited when he was fighting Darkseid. They're destroying the shit out of the city, but it was a cartoon. But buildings were falling. So that's not one of my criticisms. At first, I wasn't happy that he killed Zod. I kind of get what they were doing, and I fucking hate the Jonathan Kett scene. I hate both of them. I hate the one where he goes, "Do you want them all to die, Dad? Maybe." Fuck no. Fuck no. And based on what I heard that where they were going, I really fucking hate that. Like the whole, they thought Batman was going to hook up with Lois and have the kid, and then Batman was going to die, and then Superman was going to take care of Batman's kid. I hate that with the intensity of 10,000 Suns. I hate every bit of that. Oh, and if you think I'm joking, that's where it was mapped out to go. I think Zack Snyder is much better off never touching the DCEU again, and he's going to look better than James Gunn. The fact of the matter is, the DC universe has never taken off in any form, even with Zack Snyder or James Gunn. Warner Brothers is America's dumbest entertainment company. They don't know what to fucking do. They're even fucking this up. And when they occasionally have a good movie, they fuck that up later on. Joker, they made Joker 2. They released six flops in a row before they started James Gunn's JGU. And on paper, it might have been a good idea to hire Gunn to run a studio, but now that we've seen a little bit of it, he's terrible at it. He is utterly terrible at it. And Kevin Feige is probably laughing his ass off because Marvel was vulnerable. This was the time you could have, all you had to do was just be traditional. Truth, justice, and the American way. The minute truth, justice, and the American way was not put in there, even though Peter Safran had said in an interview earlier that it was going to be in there, they were cooked. Then they follow it up with Peacemaker and a bisexual orgy that a lot of people who are, I don't know, complaining about He-Man and Spider Noir were defending, which is the most inconsistent argument of the decade. By the way, Spider Noir, pretty good. Pretty good. I recommend. Peacemaker season 2, woke as fuck and shit. Saw the man. Oh, I read that one. I particularly liked when Drinker called them Mandungus and gravy. That's good. No, I think, you know what? I think Mahler is doing a review now that I think about it, because he's got a bunch of different names. Hey guys, watch your own time. Hey guys, watch on your own time a video Skyrim, but it's for modern gaming. And if you haven't, by YouTuber Dr. Foxotic. And if you want to watch a clip of it now, the BGM is his own creation. You will have a great time. I'll watch it my own time, Lord of Slurs. Thank you for the 20 euros. Hail Fellowship. I can't believe I live in a universe where a new Star Wars movie is out and I just don't care. It's amazing. You know, we've lived through it, so but we're going to look back on this and go, whoa. A Star Wars movie got beat by 3 YouTubers. And that is the state of Hollywood, by the way. That's not just Star Wars. That is the state of Hollywood. That is analogous to what's going on with Hollywood right now. Varn, V-A-R-N, for €5 says, recently found Tolkien scholar Malcolm Geit. Is he worth watching, or is he one of the shills who supported Rings of Power? Also, The Boy sucks. I don't know. I'd have to see his name. Hang on. I'd have to see his face. I'm sorry. I already saw his name. Oh, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Tom Shippey is the one you want to follow. Mandarian and Gogurt says Mason Havens for $1.99. DSP Historical Society for $10 says F. Chrissy, Hambly, and Kripke. Zeke Zion for $4.99. I'm hearing murmurings in the darkness that Robert Eggers may make a Baron and Luthien. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I think he'd do it justice. Robert Eggers is becoming one of my favorites. I think he would have made a great Odyssey. I think it's more in his wheelhouse than Nolan's. I am here. I read that. If Mel Gibson directed the Odyssey, it would be Greek actors speaking ancient Greek. Yes, it would. And it'd be fucking awesome. Zanzolt Torino for 3,000 Arsis says, love you guys. I hated the ending of The Boys. Thankfully, I read the comic. As Disbrew said, Eric Kripke has the white jacket right now and is in the padded room, and he is screaming into the void, my ending was better, not the comic, mine. Meanwhile, YouTube fills with more, The Boys ending was awful. Hail. Yes. If I have the time, I will do a response to that one dude's video who basically said that the show is better than the comic. Aiken for $7.99. I highly recommend Rokurinsha Tokyo Station Ramen Street. Oh, we didn't get there. The ramen was awesome, though. Mark C for $4.99. Thank you very much. Camel Toe Tag for $5. Gary and Gang. When you get to Japan, you got to try Sukiya Gyuda with cheese. Never fails. I didn't try it. But the pancakes with the syrup and the butter in the middle that you get at 7-Eleven, those are good. I am Klaus, says Gunner, for 20 Norwegian krona. Just watched Top Gun Maverick in IMAX with my brother for his birthday. Ready to declare best movie of the decade. Please make Miami Vice 1985 good. Top Gun Maverick is my second favorite movie of the decade behind Godzilla -1, but it's a close second. It's 1A, 1B. Thomas Crown acquisition for $5. Vought Rising will have one good season to pull in the chuds. Then Kripke will enshitify it. I think it'll be enshitified from the get-go, but we'll see. I like Jensen Ackles, but how many times are we going to hear about like him snorting coke off of somebody's ass? And when is it going to be funny? Snacks for $5. What are the mangoes and the groks for? Let me know. They're for failing. Is tonight the night we get the Legion of Substitute Fellowshippers? Next week? Oh, it's the week after this. And I will be responding to those. Those will be fun. I did watch that episode, though. Gary goes to Japan, but is weary of Serenir geishas make men erect to attempt to take his seed monster. The remake of Crouching Dragon Hidden Dragon. That's a Chinese movie. Racist. X-Ray Girl goes to Japan to take on monsters like the long and girthy Godzilla. Will she be able to handle him? Find out on the X-Ray remake of Big Trouble in Little China. Jesus Christie. Jesus Christie. Let's get to some member chats real quick. We're almost done with part one. The F back of Harry's parents dying hit harder. The flashback of Harry's parents dying hit harder than even the books. Movie version was jump cut and rushed and should have been a 5-minute scene. Yeah, dude. Everything in that book plays out as it should. I have my criticisms of the book. I didn't particularly love Snape's death. Sorry, spoilers. I wish there would have been more to it, but I mean, it's a minor gripe, but Harry's parents' death scene hits in the full cast audio thing. It's and Cedric dying and Voldemort coming back is so much better. I love you, Gary. Not in a gay way, though. That's okay if it's a little gay. Your streams get me through lots of shit, so thank you. Stay cool. You stay cool. Hope you're not going through too much shit. Hey, if you laugh at my expense, good. That's what I'm here for. Biggest problem with content creators is when they start taking themselves a little bit too seriously. We have to keep in mind that we are retards. We sit in our office for long periods of time, some of us anyway, doing a lot of research and editing videos and streaming. And some people sometimes say, well, they need to recharge their battery. Well, it's usually because they're not taking care of themselves. It's not the streaming itself. Streaming is a very easy job if you know how to do it, right? Does it require talent? It requires the gift of gab. That's what it requires. I don't know if I'd use the word talent. Now, making YouTube videos that are highly edited, like Mahler, that is talent. That is legit talent. Drinker, talent. That is talent. Yes, it is. It is a talent, whether people like it or not. Zombie Dude for $5. This is Rumble Rants. One of two. As welcome back from the dead. The real fake wizard's necromancy is getting pretty good. You don't look a day over your death day. You must tell me the brand of formaldehyde you use. You look very limber for having been dead so long, not stiff at all. And at least we can, or at least what we can see. Real fake wizard, let me rest a little too long. Let me rest a little too long before reanimating me. So that's why I'm a zombie. There you go. He rests. Welcome, Real Fake Wizard, to Friday Night Tights. It's a good fit. It's a good fit. Love the Real Fake Wizard. Why? He watches everything. He is a full-blown nerd. He is dialed in. Dirty Weaker is gifted 5 Nerdrotic Rumble memberships. Thank you very much. Jboy72 for $2. Important question. Did Sigourney Weaver replace a dead black man? R.I.P. Carl Weathers. Oh, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. Can't believe he died. I mean, he was old, but it was a bummer. Also, the last season of The Boys was complete shit, and so was season 4 and 3 and 2. If you like Anthony Starr, watch Banshee. It's better. I could not agree more. Watch Banshee. If you guys swipe a wallet in Japan, you can become citizens. A really smart American judge said so, says Wesley. I don't steal. Stealing's bad. And I'm not even a Christian. Now, if you're a Christian, it's bad too, right? To steal. I do believe it's one of the commandments. Is it 8 or 9? I can't remember. Let's take a look at the 10 commandments. Let's take a look at the 10 commandments. Well, they listed out in English so I can read it. I don't read Arabic or Hebrew or whatever the hell it is. Is it 8? Why is it telling me? I don't get this. So I think it's 8. Thou shalt not steal. And it's followed by, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor or fellow content creator. That could be a neighbor. Commandments. Did I say, I meant Hebrew. Did I say Arabic? You will get a full Spider Noir review when I've finished watching the last 2 episodes. But I highly recommend it. I watch it in black and white. But you will be getting a Nerdrotic Live Spider Noir review this week. I just wanted to remind you that, like, listen, it's against the law and it's against the commandments to steal. And I'm sure, I mean, there's probably some nice pious people in here. What does the Bible say about rationalizing a sin? What does the Bible say about manipulation? Because manipulation is a form of lying. What does the Bible say about lying? Probably has a lot to say. If Odin was here, he could tell me right away. He can go boom, boom, boom. Matthew 3:17 or whatever. I'm not getting that right. But it's bad to steal. For lore accuracy's sake, Maul smashes a battle droid into a control panel to open it in TPM. It says Yoki Wartooth for $2. That must be the Maul show, which I'm not going to watch. PG MD has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership on Rumble. Thank you very much. Hail the fellowship, FNT, and have a safe trip. Enjoy Japan. Thank you. We did. We had a safe trip back. Tender Rat for $1 says Backrooms movie is the next week. Anyone catching it on release? I'm sure many people did. I did go and watch some of those lore videos, and they're really good. Abomination for $5 says, as an internet culture, we went from Leroy Jenkins to E to 6'7" to freaking oranges. Are the oranges still around? Has anybody figured out what they're for yet? Like I said, I know, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't know if you're ready. I don't know if humanity's ready to know. I don't know if humanity's ready to know. I don't know if she's ready to know. I'm going to read a few from the Japan, and then we have FNT, and then we have Az's FNT, and then last week's FNT, right? And they're actually tangerines, guys, in the chat. I just wanted to point. Well, actually, they're tangerines. It was so nice. The one thing I just tuned everything out for the most part in Japan because I was in Japan. Oh, the 24. Okay, that's a good question. So when I got back from Japan, the first thing I did, I was up for 24 hours. I did a live stream and I played the Black Snape video and about 45 minutes into my stream, YouTube had taken the stream down and removed my ability to live stream on Nerdrotic Live. But they didn't give me a strike or a warning. So it was AI flagging something. Lots of flagging, lots of flaggets around, but this one was AI. So I contacted my partner manager and I got an email kickback saying he's gone till the 18th. I'm like, fuck. So I contacted Team YouTube, told them to DM me, gave them information. They kind of confused the information with something else. But by the next morning, everything was back up. The thing is, though, it cut off the FNT live stream. And what we're going to do next is it's going to be a live stream of evergreen videos, kind of like what Y-Files does. So whenever Garrett gets that going, I don't know if he noticed it or not when it happened, but within a week, I would say it gets back going again. But it will be evergreen, like top 5 videos and stuff, and there'll be a lot of them. And we'll see how that works. 24/7 Nerdrotic. 24/7 Nerdrotic. Empire of Galaxy Nova for $1.99 says, I have 1,000 views in 48 hours on Facebook. God, that's awesome. Yeah, who was it who told Michael Collins told me, man, you got to start putting stuff up on Facebook. I'm like, why? Why? That just sounds like another thing I got to worry about, but I'll look into it. I think I haven't paid attention to Facebook. For $4.99, Gary, it's Jay. Watch my trailer for my book for Empires. Oh, it's Jay. What's up, Jay? I'll watch it. Thanks, buddy. Jay's an old friend of mine from back in the day. It rhymes with Jay. And yes, he's super gay. Eudite for $5. I just saw the Marshall Lucas died. Yes. Also, just tuned in. Has that been covered? Well, yeah, I didn't cover it much, but Marshall Lucas did pass away. It's very sad. Very sad. Very, very sad. She was older now, and George is getting up there too. She did have a lot to do with the success of Star Wars, the narrative that she absolutely was the one who definitively saved it. I'll push back on that a little bit because George had final say on everything. So she might have done a lot of work, but like he still had to okay it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to diminish her contribution because it was huge, and so was Gary Kurtz. And basically, when Marsha and Gary Kurtz left, we got Ewoks. So there you go. But I think I don't want to speak ill of the dead. May she rest in peace. Has Ryan's forehead made it through customs in Japan yet? Not yet. We're still waiting, B4. Thank you for the $10. Why aren't there any Walmarts in Afghanistan? Because there is a Target on every corner. Says Magnum Norse. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. Will you guys head to Akibara? We did multiple times. Be nice area to see you take your son if he loves his anime and technology. We have Mrs. Nerdrotic has tons of video of me shopping in Akibara. She will be posting that on IG. Please get Miss Nerdrotic some strawberries from the supermarket downstairs, and if she's not allergic. Aiken, I should have. I got her a lot of stuff, though. She's doing okay. The strawberries are good. And I don't even love strawberries. Eagle Eye for $1.99. Mando, it was mid, but the popcorn bucket was worth it. I didn't see the popcorn bucket. Gary is turning Japanese. Yes. Ryan, Ryan have yellow fever? Spider Noir is 5 stars. 5 stars out of what, though? Nerdrotic, can you also play Lord of Ring? Well, I'm going to play Mixtape. I think Mahler might help me. Molly, only you can play PS4 version of Lord of Ring. I have a graded copy of Lord of Ring, 8.0. 8.0. This is a. Uh-oh, LOL. You mean Ronan Kinnell? Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm going through some old stuff. Oh, this is a random one. When were the battle lines drawn with Comicsgate? I have no idea. There's never been any battle lines drawn for my part. I don't care. I don't care. Go down to Iwakuni, party with the Marines. Semper Fi, Nerdrotic. That'd be fun. Gary, I hope you're enjoying Japan and get some oranges for the Jeremy. Well, those are tangerines, like I pointed out before. But you can't bring fruit back. I mean, that kind of fruit back through customs. Did the air raid sirens go off when Ryan landed? Actually, they did. Daniel Todd for $2. How many mangas did you get? I got like 3 or 4. I got the latest Shonen Jump with the latest chapter of One Piece that I can't read, but I wanted to get it while I was there. Gary, you ghosted my XDM. Nah, JK, it cool. Just kidding, it cool. What? Which one? Eric K. Eric for $49.99. By the way, thank you. Is this Eric K? Are we following each other, or was it in requests? Hang on, I'm going to go look for it. I'm going to look for it. My XDMs are a fucking nightmare. Let's go in the requests. I don't see an Eric. Send me an email, Gary@nerdrotic.com. Oh. What the fuck? Yeah, I never check those. That's not good. I read that one. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're going to wrap it up there. 3 more of these to go because we have another Japanese roundup one with another FNT, the one I wasn't on, and then we have the FNT from last week. So throughout the week. Now, tomorrow night, if you're a member of Nerdrotic, we are going to be watching the first couple to 3 episodes of Clarkson's Farm for a watch party, which most of you have watched. I've actually waited so I could watch it with the members. And I know I was supposed to do it this weekend, so I apologize. But tomorrow evening, around 8 p.m. Central, we're going to watch Clarkson's Farm for a watch party on the main channel for the members. Can't wait to watch it. Tonight, I'm going to watch the rest of Spider Noir so I can give you a quick review. Also, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I hope if it's in 4K, I'm going to buy it in 4K. I've already got the 1/6 scale. And the thing is, I have the comic. I read the comic. I sold the comic. So, wasn't that? It's fine. I think the series is actually better. Yes, it's diverse. Yes, it's very diverse, but it's an alternate universe. I wouldn't call it woke. It's slightly intersectional feminist with the fat secretary bossing around Nick Cage. But Nick Cage's aura, his charisma, just conquers all. Love what they did with the Spider-Man villains. The way they shoot it, they borrowed a lot from Batman the Animated Series, like a lot. I'd love to compare a couple of shots, but overall, thumbs up. And Cage is fucking Cage. Yes, he's too old, fat, filled with plastic surgery. It's kind of hard to believe he's flipping around, doing that. And I love the callback to Tobey's Spider-Man, how it starts. Basically going, who am I? They mention Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse like very briefly in passing, and you have to watch it in black and white. Now, unfortunately, the versions when I was watching it in Japan, I only had color versions, and it's fine, but the black and white version is far superior. The femme fatale, the Asian woman, I thought would annoy the fuck out of me. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. Keeping in mind that this is an alternate universe that still has segregation, but most people are pretty cool with the black people for the most part. They're not dropping N-bombs everywhere. So, and what I would love to see is a Batman done like this. Who was I on live streaming and they said, it's already done. You don't need to do it. No, we need a live action Batman that uses the template. It was Flashcast. I think Flash was drunk. We need a Batman live action series that's done with the template of the animated series. Cast authentically. None of that stupid Bat cartoon that was produced by Jar Jar Abrams and unfortunately Bruce Timm was involved in. That went to Amazon. That one is fucking utter shit. But if you did a Batman TV series that was noir, that was set in a Gotham, that's an actual character that isn't in the 30s, but dominated by Art Deco. So you don't know what time it is. Kind of like Burton's Gotham. No cell phones, right? I think it would be nothing but a hit. I think it would be fucking amazing. And he's a detective. A smart one, not like a dumb one from the Batman. A smart one. But just use the animated series as the template. Get Paul Dini involved somehow, some way. Paul Dini. Spectacular writer. I'd leave Bruce Timm out because he went full on fucking woke with this last one. I think it would just be nothing but a hit. A Dark City look, that's not bad. Gotham has to be a character, just like the Enterprise is a character in Star Trek. Gotham has to be a character. James Brolin as noir Batman. If he was older, a younger James Brolin would work. You'd just have to like put, he'd have to wear like Gene Simmons shoes. I would rather it. I don't want it to be year 1 or 2. I'd want it to be an established Batman with an established rogues gallery of villains, an established Bat Cave. Robin is around. A working Batmobile. That's like 4th or 5th version. Eventually, you bring in Batgirl. You bring in the Bat family, but first you just have Batman. Then you have Robin. I think it'd be great. Yes, I want a giant fucking penny in the Bat Cave and a dinosaur. It'd be fucking awesome. And no, Batman doesn't need to be grounded in our reality. DC is not the world outside your window. That's not what DC is. It's not what it was anyway. Ace the Bat Hound. I have Ace the Bat Hound. WG. He fucking looks like him. He's such a good boy. I didn't know like shepherds like talk. Like every time I come downstairs, he's like, like giving me, like chewing me out. It's great. He's doing really good, by the way. His heartworms are gone. And he's gained a bunch of weight now. He's all spunky. Which Robin? There's only one Robin. Rock bottom, and that's Dick. Batman doesn't work without Dick. I know Batman can be hard on Dick, but Dick always rises to the occasion. Yes, Dick gets slapped around a lot by the rogues gallery of villains. But Dick is slippery. Dick is smart. Dick Grayson. That's the Robin you use. That's the Robin you use. Rise up for Dick. Dick's out for Dick. Dick is hard. He gets really hard. Dick gets really hard, especially when he becomes Nightwing. That's right. But yeah, I think that's what we need. WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Hail, WG. Hail, brother. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody. Who else is streaming? I think I streamed over like 5 people. Sorry. I didn't check my notes. Let's see who is streaming. Let's go to my... John B. Wells. Ryan Hall, y'all, is streaming. Oh, do you guys want to? Robert's streaming. Jaws is boring according to Gen Z. Spielberg, an irrelevant billionaire. Listen, R&B's night streams are great. So let's frighten everybody in there. I'm going to give you an R&B stream to go into. I would say behave yourselves, but why bother? Oh, Casino's on. They're on Kick, right? Whoa, buddy. Okay, so thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We have so much more squaring up to do, and we will do it soon. Tomorrow, the real BBC returns to my channel at 11 a.m. Central, where Mahler, Az, and I will talk about some shit and some stuff. And maybe some animated titties. You never know. You never know. But thank you, chat. Thanks to everybody who supports the channel. This is the best gig in the world. Fucking love you guys. See you next time.